Today I've got 3 baskets and 3 projects, so let me talk you through it. Right, so here are our 3 baskets, and this is my sole mission for today because I want to complete all 3 tasks before the rain starts again. So today I'm going to propagate some strawberries. I'm going to plant out some million bells or mini petunias. And then in the very last basket, I'm planning on planting out a little bit of catnip. This is one of my favorite hanging baskets that I have. I do have 2 of these, so it's a win. And that is strawberries. I have absolutely loved being able to grow strawberries in containers using the existing structures we have. And I think they are quite visually appealing. So what we currently have at the moment is our strawberry is throwing little runners. So I'm going to try and propagate them today with the intention of creating a secondary hanging basket right over here. This is my second hanging basket, and as you can see, we even have some beautiful strawberries growing that are actually ready for harvesting, or at least they will be soon. It's a little bit tricky to get into this space, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shoot and attempt to get it to root into this basket. So in order to do that, this part of the strawberry then needs to touch the soil and remain there long enough for it to develop a root system. So in order to keep it down, I have some old bulldog clips. I'm just going to fold these little metal ears back, and then I am going to use those to push down into the soil and hold the strawberry to the ground. Once it's rooted, I will then come along and cut this runner and allow this plant to then fill out this bucket. I also have a second runner here that I'm going to attempt to root slightly further into this container. So using the same method, I have an old bulldog clip and I'm just going to push it into my soil and allow it to hold those strawberries in place. So here's a slightly closer look at how I have done this. As you can see, I've got my original runner here with my strawberry plant touching the soil and the little bulldog clip just in the ground. So that's what it currently looks like, and with a little bit of encouragement we'll probably get this one here to root, and then this basket will be full of strawberries too for the next season. Now that we've got the 2 strawberry baskets up, let's move on to our next project. Into this container, I plan on planting this little million bells. So on its instructions, it actually says that they are a full sun hardy evergreen. So I think before we even plant it, I'm just going to go ahead and do that and remove all the less desirable flowers off of here. And try and encourage it to have a little bit more growth. Now that we've got all 3 baskets up, I think it actually looks quite nice. I like the pop of pink, and I think once the nasturtiums start flowering a bit more, It really will be pretty. So as you can see, this nasturtium does have a flower. It just hasn't opened yet, and there is a bud just below it. So soon this should have a couple of flowers, and we'll have some yellow, some pink, and I think this one is orange. In this last container, I'm going to be planting out some catnip that I bought from Seeds for Africa online a couple of years ago. We have grown catnip before. We had some in a container. Unfortunately, it doesn't last long in our house because we have cats and they absolutely annihilate it. And the problem is, in our neighborhood, it's not just our two cats, it's everybody's cats that want a little piece. So in order to combat that, I'm going to attempt growing it in a hanging basket and putting it in a place where they can't get to it and have themselves a little munch whenever they want to. I already have this tab here for a old hanging basket spot, so I'm just going to put that there, and hopefully this catnip grows. Right, so while we're hanging out here in the garden, there are a few updates actually. I just want to show you what's come up in the garden. So we have two beans over here that have come up, and just over here we have our very first golden zucchini. How cool is this? And as you can see on this particular plant, you can already see the future fruit coming up. So if you look just through here, you can see another little yellow one and another yellow one peeking through there. These rotate tomatoes have decided to ripen almost all at once, as expected. Here in the container garden, we actually have something very exciting happening. We planted beans and all of them came up. So all 7 have come up and they're looking pretty good, like really healthy, so I'm excited about that. And over here in our tomato container, we have 2 of these cherries that have come up. So I'm a little bit excited about that. I was hoping for a few more, but you know what? I'm going to take whatever I can get. A win is a win. Hey guys, I'm just hanging out under the umbrella here in the shade, listening to the birds in the garden, and then I'm moving on to today's last task. So for the most part, I'm done with the hanging baskets, but I'm not done with containers yet. Hey guys, so I'm not really sure what happened to the sound on this clip. It was extremely soft, and I really have been battling with the sound lately. But anyway, I'm just explaining that in this pot there was a blue cream cherry tomato that I received from one of my friends over on Instagram, and unfortunately the spider mites had gotten to it, and even though we've treated the plant and there are no active spider mites, it's still not at its healthiest. So I've decided that I will forgo this tomato and hopefully plant something else out in its space that will bring me a lot more joy. This tomato plant has grown through the fence here, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it off, and then I'm going to unwire this piece and remove it. Right, so now that we've gotten rid of that tomato, I can add a little bit of sunshine. This is a Rebecca, a Toto Gold, and it is absolutely stunning. So my plan is just to remove these mulch chips, the wood chips, and plant this Rebecca into a slightly larger container. Plant in our Rebecca, move the soil around. And add back our wood chips. Okay guys, well, thanks for hanging out with me today in the garden while I planted out a few pretties and tried a couple of experiments. I hope that you enjoyed spending your time with me in the garden. I appreciate you doing it, and I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to like, and if you aren't already, subscribe, and it would mean the world to us if you would share us across your social media platforms. By getting our name out there, our community can only grow. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.